Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. It is all about my work, how to schedule an appointment, all about upcoming events. And for those of you on YouTube today, thank you. I hope that you connect with this podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And for all the other platforms, thank you so much. I was informed this week that I am number 14 the last 30 days in Italy on Apple. And, well, that was very good news. Thank you so much, Italy, for listening. I appreciate it. I was just in Italy last fall. I love it. And I hope to go back again and enjoy some of the countryside a little bit more. Some more wine, some more cheese. Very important. Also, I am, for those of you who wish to get to know my work, I'm also on Facebook business page under Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. And I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. I think I've covered everything for now. I want to give a special thank you to all of you who listen to me every week and give me feedback and just your faith and positive energy towards me. I'm just grateful. I wish I could find another word besides grateful. I feel very blessed. I'm very humbled. I always want to try to be up to the job. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't express that enough. I have to say to you that today's topic is, do you know the truth? And it comes from my week. It comes from this week of really diving within and watching the reaction to the passing of the Pope, Easter, interactions I've seen with people with each other. And it made me realize, and I might have brought it up for those of you who have listened before. I believe I brought it up last week a little bit. Made me realize last week, and I spoke about it in my personal relationship area, about how people are in their own beliefs and mindsets and thoughts and emotions and hate and judgments. They're so in it that they are not open to the truth. They cannot in any way accept it. They want to believe what they want to believe, and they just want to be in that space. And it was further increased this week with the passing of the Pope and the reaction, which was mostly very positive towards the Pope. But I have to say, I've known priests in my lifetime, and not all the energy about the Pope has been positive. You see, there are people that hope that the next Pope is perhaps not so Christ-like, a little less, quote, liberal, perhaps a little bit less accepting, loving, open, in generosity. They want to go back to the way it was, with more constrictions and restrictions and judging and, well, negative energy. I don't really want to say in that moment hate. But I have to share with you what bothered me this week. What I was exposed to. Being someone who was raised Catholic and loving being Catholic, wanting to participate in the Mass, wanting to celebrate the Mass. I always accepted how things were. I questioned it. I questioned it long and hard. I remember sitting down with a wonderful Monsignor who's now passed, and he always was kind. The last time I spoke to him, it was a long time, perhaps 90 minutes, 2 hours, where we spoke about the faith. And he was that Christ-like man, that one that you could tell was stepping in for the embodiment, this physical embodiment of Jesus on earth. And that's what a priest, I am taught, was supposed to do when you go to confession. The priest is stepping in, right? Is Christ-like. And I don't see that always so much. I see a lot of humanness, a lot of judging, a lot of hatred, and a lot of belief in lies. Lies about who people are. Lies about who has the best intentions and who doesn't. And closing doors, closing windows on people. That doesn't seem very Christ-like. And now it's a time to pray. It's a time to pray that hopefully the new religious leader will continue the work of trying to be not perfect, but more Christ-like. But here's what I've been told this week as well. We are not supposed to judge. So I should not judge the priests that are hoping for things to go backwards. We are not supposed to judge those who judge. It's so hard, isn't it? And I may have shared this story last week, when I was in line to prepare for my Easter feast at the store, there were two strangers bonding over their hatred of a population and wanting to believe lies about them because it aligned with their racism and their hatred. But you see, I am not supposed to judge them. In judgment, we cannot have love. And the only time we can know if we are being told the truth is if we are in a state of love and compassion and lack of judgment. We are all one, and so we cannot know a truth about anything if it is tainted by our preconceived emotions about people and circumstances. And we must be very careful not to allow it to increase, to make a big deal out of things that are small. But yes, when we see injustices, we should want to be involved in eradicating them. But pointing out and complaining about what evil is doing or what one situation is about and not acting is just judging. It does not bring us to a better world. The better world comes when we can look at each other as souls, as children of God, as we all are, every single one of us. And we are loved unconditionally no matter who we are. And that's hard for us because we judge, right? We judge. They can't be loved more than me or the same as me because they're awful. But they are. It is like the prodigal son or the prodigal daughter. The door and the windows are always open, no matter who you are and how you live your life. That is very hard for a lot of people to come to terms with. But more and more, we are understanding the necessity and the power of love. We know it heals. We know it cures. We know inevitably and intuitively that we are one. So why are we being torn apart? Because we're still at a battle of good, evil, light, and dark. And perhaps, yes, it's been there through the centuries. There's been dark times. Well, here we are today, in this current year, still battling it, still separating, but it is turning. It's turning into that understanding of oneness and love and togetherness and light winning out. And light always wins out. It may not win a battle, but it always wins a war. It always has. It doesn't even have to really battle. It just automatically wins through its own power. But we can try and block it, and we do, by seeing separation, division. You have more than I. You are different. We even separate ourselves from our Creator. I have to go outward to you and hope that you answer my prayer. Your prayers are answered. Say thank you and believe. Know how much you are loved. So the point of this podcast today is I would like to challenge you to look within and see what you judge. And sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's so subtle. Sometimes it's you're looking for something to be upset about. Whenever you judge, you are being pulled in to an untruth. You cannot know the whole situation. You are part of the Liars Club. In order to know the full big picture story, it is, as I said before, necessary to bring together the heart with the intuition, with the mind, to feel compassion. Compassion, not pity. Compassion for whomever you would normally judge. And then watch, you'll get answers. You'll get truths. You'll see the full story, the larger truth, rather than what another person would tell you to believe. And I also want to say this. What bothers us the most is what is within us. For myself personally, I cannot stand lies. They literally disintegrate me inside, because a part of me has been a liar. So that is me coming to terms with who I am. It's like a reflection in a mirror. If you are bothered by injustice, you have committed injustice before and it bothers you. Everything we're bothered by is a reflection in the mirror. Now, what does that mean? What do you do with that? Forgive yourself. Talk kindly. Do not blame. There's no such thing as blame. It's self-imposed. Understand who that person was, who that person is, and give gratitude for the lessons and love and understanding. It's so very important. Always be kind to yourself and always be kind to others, but yourself first and foremost. Why would anyone on this earth think that a shepherd, a leader of a church, who would wash the feet of criminals, who would console a child worried about his father's soul, who didn't believe in God, who wanted to live a simple life without the adornments of wealth? Why would that bring out dislike or hatred in someone? Because they don't see it in themselves. Because of their own story. Their own lacking. Their own sadness. But we don't overcome that by judging. We can only overcome by understanding that something more is going on and overwhelming that feeling with compassion, peace, smiles, kindness, and whatever else we can do to promote oneness. You wear them down, is what I mean. You wear them down. This world is in the process of being healed. It is important for understanding. I have asked more and more for understanding. And it's amazing how much, I don't know if it's the veil thinning between this physical three-dimensional world and the higher realm of the fourth and the fifth and beyond dimensions, but I can tell you that I will pose a thought and get the answer immediately. And that the thought would be, I want to understand. Well, here's what it is. And sometimes, and pay attention for this, I will get answers through meditation. I will get answers through dreams. I just, without mentioning names, got a great understanding of someone through an interaction in a dream that was very lucid. But it was a lesson dream. It was an opportunity for understanding. Someone who you might deem awful actually showed a very sensitive side, a vulnerable side. You know, the worst of this world, meaning people that are struggling with showing compassion or higher consciousness in some way. They're the ones that need the love and the compassion, the understanding the most. And what you give, you do get back, even if it's not directly from that person. It comes back multiplied, as long as it's pure and genuine. And yes, this world can be tiring. You may hear it in my voice. I'm tired. But it's a beautiful world and a beautiful life. And know that it is very possible that what you believe may not be the entire story. It may just be what aligns with your emotions, your judgments, your prejudices, your biases. You cannot know unless you come from a place of purity. And it doesn't go to a certain political party. It doesn't go, it's everyone. It's everyone. When you judge, you're vulnerable. You have weakness. As I told you, I asked recently. Well, I'll tell you what. I asked, how do I become more Christ-like? And the answer I received immediately was, release judgment and feel more love. That's it. The answer is always that simple. But remember, the judgment is so autopilot that you may not even realize you're doing it when you're doing it. And here's another thing I noticed with myself this weekend. I was, again, thinking about religious people this week, and I was brought back to a memory of a man that has crossed over, and he was a deacon. And my interactions with him, well, did not start out as very kind, and I, of course, came about with judgment. And there were several. The last interaction was watching him be unkind to a spouse in public, his own. And so I've carried this weight of this person that I never really personally knew. I just had interactions with them. And here's why. Because I judge him harsher for being a representative, for being a deacon, for being a part of a higher calling. And I had expectations of more holiness. But you see, again, I didn't know the whole story. And I noticed myself this weekend feeling a bit drained. And I saw myself actually being that same type of person. Cranky, short, in my own personal relationship area. And I noticed it. It was like a mirror. I am being what I've been judging, what I've been remembering. You see how it's a part of yourself? That's probably why it bothered. Well, let's just say it was illuminated for me that it's a part of me too. So how do you cure it? I'm going to make sure that what always bothered me, I cure within myself. That I take the opportunity to be the best me. To not be who I don't want to become. I'm going to make the energy around me better. What I don't appreciate is information for me. That it's not what I want. And the people around us are teachers. So I will thank this deacon for being a teacher. And it's probably all he ever wanted to be. You see how it works? Everything and everyone around you is showing you what you want, who you want to be. Informational. It's not about good or bad or ugly or arrogant or rude or unkind or getting, any other emotions that aren't appreciated. It's about seeing that illumination. Is that who I want to be in this world? And it's singular, it's independent, while sending love energetically to all the teachers. Today, after you hear this, no matter when you hear this, you will go about your day and properly judge. Do not beat yourself up. Do not even be negative. Just note it and try to find a better thought, or send energetic love to what you're judging. Warm thoughts and prayers and energy. That is how we heal and cure this world. And then you'll see that you'll learn things. You'll see that there are truths you didn't know. There's a larger story going on. It's not black and white. There's just more going on. The truthful answers will come. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're able to connect with that some way. And once again, wherever you're listening, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have recommendations for a topic, please be sure to email me at serenity.harbor@verizon.net. And also, once again, be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish you the greatest blessings. And until next time, take care.